Hey yo, welcome back to Glorious Vibes. Definitely super excited to be here and just share this space in this moment with you. Again, another calm day, another exciting day, another exciting end of the day. Truly blessed that I could be doing this and be here and be in this space because not everybody gets to do that. So I am blessed and excited, and thank you for being here. Had an interesting conversation. In fact, this is something that I've kind of seen so many times, and I thought it'd be something worth exploring, kind of just, having a conversation about. But before I do that, it kind of, the what I have experienced lately took me to a place, a few years ago, where I ended up in ICU. And my fever was like above 105 degrees. I remember that, very vividly, where I could go and, I go into the shower, like really cold shower, and nothing would happen. It was just really hot, and I was just super hot, like really, really hot, and I couldn't cool off, and I just could not understand what was going. Tylenol wasn't doing the thing either. So it's kind of interesting for me. I just, started feeling weird, and I could see double things, everything was double for me. Like the light was double, and, things around were just, everything was just double. And it just got to a place that I felt really dangerous because I was breathing, and I'm feeling like I'm breathing heat. So anyways, long story short, I remember just hopping in the car and then going to the hospital and ending up in ICU, and they gave me a few pills. I think it was just one or two, which ended up being $4,000, by the way, which is kind of interesting. And I learned out later that it was ibuprofen that they gave me. $4,000. I guess being in a hospital ICU for 4 to 5 hours, it gets you that. But anyways, that's beside the point. I'm glad I did, and I'm grateful for that, for the doctors and those kind of who took care of me when I got there. But I remember having a conversation with a doctor who came to see me, and the first thing he asked me, he said, "What do you do for a living?" And I told him, and he said, "What did you do in the last, this last week? What did you do this last week? Like, what was your, work like, life balance, and things like that?" I told him, and he said, "We did everything, every test possible. We couldn't find anything." And I was like, that's odd. That's interesting. Not even the common flu. Like, they couldn't find anything. It wasn't a cold. It wasn't anything. And it turns out my body was just really tired, and I had pushed it to the limit. And so that got me thinking about, that conversation. And the doctor said to me, there's a reason why they give you time off. There's a reason why they give you vacation. There's a reason why they give you the weekends. Like, whatever days you have, it's for that reason. The body is not a machine. Your body is your body. It has its own limit. Even machines do have their own limit. And so having a conversation with a friend reminded me of like that moment. And so I ended up kind of sharing this moment with him, because he went in that space of like, if I'm not here, things are, they might get done, but not quite, or not as well, and just all kinds of stuff, sharing me. And then, but what got to me, what ticked me a little, was that, we are salaried employees, so expectation is 40 to 60 hours. And I realized that is true. And how many people actually pay attention to that? The 40 to 60 hours, and how many people actually really do limit themselves to 60 hours? Because I think there's some people who actually work 80 hours, 70-hour week for many, many, many reasons. And that's kind of crazy. And it's beyond crazy. That's insane. And it's beyond insane. That's like daily. That's what that is. And I'm not here to tell you that. Again, I'm gonna just do a disclaimer here. I'm not a therapist, okay? I'm not a therapist. I'm not a scientist that would look into what is the impact of this. That's not my job. That's not what I went to school for. But I'm a human being, and I like to center human beings, and I'm a human being centered person, and I am a person who's big on self-care and well-being. So let me just say this. So many crazy things happening. I'm not even going to go in a long lecture here like anything you need to know. I'm just saying this right now. Your body is your body. Your body is great as long as it's still working. The day your body stops working, everything stops. Your body is not a machine. Your body needs a break. Your body needs rest. It is so, I wouldn't even say, like, it's heartbreaking the way you see, like, sometimes you see how people work. And I've seen it, and I used to do that, right? You see somebody eating lunch, and they're typing a message. Eating lunch and working at the same time. And they call that's my lunch hour. Those weekend emails, right? Those really, really late night emails. 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm talking specifically about people who work in the office at this point here, because I know some people have other, schedules, right? And I've seen people, quote unquote, on vacation, still sending emails, still chiming in, still saying, well, I'll be on vacation, but I can still make it. I'll be all right. Like, yeah, no, you are not going to be all right. Like, you need to, oh my goodness. You just need to stop. Like, we need to be intentional about self-care. Be intentional about self-care. There's no clone. Even your own clone as a person will never be you. Your DNA is your DNA. Your clone will never, ever be you. They may look like you, but they'll never be you. There's only you. Only you. And to be the truth, and I say this to everybody else. The whole, if I'm not here, nothing is going to get done. I am so special. Well, dear, so special. You're only so special for as long as you can continue to produce. The day your body stops producing, you're no longer special. Somebody else needs to come in your place. You better believe that. We are all replaceable. As workers, not as us, our own experience and everything else. Nobody can replace that. But as far as that job description, the duty is there. Somebody else is going to learn that. They will learn it. They will do better than you. They'll do it better than you, based on their own experience. So this notion that I'm going to work myself to death, I'm going to forgo my vacation, heck, I'm going to work even evening and weekends too, when I'm not supposed to be working, because I need to look. Who are you trying to impress? I'm just honest question right now here. Who are you trying to impress? Are you trying to impress you? Or are you trying to impress somebody else? And even worse, you see people who have been in place, have already kind of earned their dues, and they've already proven themselves, still doing the same thing. And even worse yet, leaders who are supposed to be human-centered, lead by example, doing even worse. Well, how do you think your employees are going to be doing if they see you do that? If they see you not taking vacation, if they see you not looking your best. See, what's interesting is that sometimes we don't realize, like, people see it. When you show up that morning, and if you haven't been sleeping, it shows. Dear leaders, it shows. Sorry to say dear leaders, but I'm just saying, even as a colleague, right? You show up that morning, it shows if you haven't been sleeping. It shows if you've been working those long hours and those weekends and da 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 da. So I'm just saying, you keep going at it that way, you better hope you don't end up in a situation that I ended up in, where the doctor told me, and I'm just saying the doctor's word. He said to me, if you'd stayed home tonight, you weren't going to make up the next day. You were not going to wake up the next day. I was going to die. I was going to die not because I was sick of anything. I was going to die because I had overworked my body so much that my body basically shut down. It was gradual. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't instant. It was gradual. It's something that took time to happen. So, I'm curious. When is the last time you actually took lunch and you ate? Because lunch is eat. When you want to eat, eat. It's called lunchtime. Time to eat. You eat. When it's your day off, it's your day off. Day off. Not day on and off. Day off. That's what they call them. PTO. Personal time off. Not personal time on. When is the last time you were just intentional about, flat out, I'm not going to do this. This is my time. I'm going to eat lunch. To care for yourself. Self-care is important. As important as you think your work is and your contributions are, there is nothing more important than you taking care of yourself. And I know you know, because we all know. We keep hearing that, right? Balance your work life. Take care of yourself. Your mental health is important. But do we really pay attention to that? How often do we do that? How often do you do that? You pay attention to that. More often it's like, oh, you know what? Here's the interesting one. Your lunchtime is at 12 noon, exactly. You've already scheduled it on the calendar. Something shows up at 11:58. Something that can wait, right? And you're like, yeah, it's going to take a couple of minutes. I need to reply to this. You've eaten 2 minutes out of your own lunch. You said, no, I'm going to add it later. Yeah, but mentally, what does that do to you? You're chipping away. Tomorrow, it's going to be 5 minutes. And next time, it's going to be 10 minutes. You're going to keep chipping away because that's how you're conditioning yourself. But you see, that's what we don't pay attention to. Like really paying attention to the impact of those smaller things. I'm not here to tell you because like I say, I'm not a researcher, but there is Google out there. You need to actually Google and see the impact of eating while doing a chore. I tell this to my kids all the time. I'm not comparing you to my kids. It's not the point, right? Time to eat is time to eat. It's not time to watch TV. It's not time to play with electronics. It's time to eat. Just like time to sleep is time to sleep. It's not time to do anything at all. But we have developed a habit that we continue to justify. And that continue to have impact mentally on us, which also translates into physical impact. But how much are we actually paying attention to that? Like how much are you really paying attention to that? When is the last time you actually took an hour and ate without thinking about work or the last message that you received? You actually focus on like, you know what? This is my food. This is my lunchtime. I'm going to eat right now. It's my hour. Nobody is going to disturb me. When is the last time on your lunchtime that thing came? There's a message for you. Teams is really good at that, right? As soon as somebody texts you, IMs you, it just blows your thing if you have that notification on. The temptation is always like, uh-oh, I wonder what could be going. I want to look good. To who do you want to look good? It's good to look good, but you also have to put boundaries in place. Your time is your time. Your time to eat is your time to eat. Your time off is your time off. And I have never seen any supervisor who say, I'm not okay with that. No, it's your time off. In fact, it's against the law. If they're making you work on your time off, even it's against rules and policies and guidelines. Look in your own company, you will see that. And I'm saying this is the same thing for those who are being represented. Your time off is your time off. Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to impress? Your body is your body. You're only you. The day you're no longer there, guess what? It won't take 30 days because work has to continue. They will put that job description together faster than a lightning. And before you know it, it's going to be on Indeed, it's going to be on LinkedIn, it's going to be on Google search, it's going to be on governmentjobs.com. It's going to be everywhere. Because work has to continue. Work has to continue. You're no longer there. Nobody is going to say, you know what? Well, since this employee was really dedicated and put in so much for us, let's just go ahead and retire the position. Have you ever heard of that? I wish that was true, though. Retire the position. That'd be really awesome, right? Like they do retire numbers. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Never. Like I said, work has to continue. So if you actually start thinking about that and start thinking about like, what is your priority? Prioritize you. You matter. You matter. Priority number one, you. Because if you're not healthy and you're not there, well, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're not there. It's over. Company will continue here. It's those who love you that will continue to hurt. So I'm saying, think, be intentional, be careful, pay attention to the smaller things that you disregard and think like, yeah, that's meaningless. Those hours, those minutes, those seconds, that instead of logging off and going to do something that you're supposed to do, you're adding on, it's something mental. You're just adding on that's going to have an impact, right? So here's the thing. Do you want to last long? I just wrote a little bit of a note of some of the things that I do. I want to share with you. Do you want to last long? Do you want to enjoy your job more? Because there's potential for burnout too. It's not just you're going to get sick or anything like that. There's also potential for burnout, right? There's potential to be bored because you're burned out and you're bored. You don't want to wake up. You don't want to go to work because you're just killing yourself mentally and physically, right? Do you want to be happy looking forward to work every day? Be excited about going to work. All right. Here's what I'm going to share with you, right? Think about this. You don't have to put anything in that. I'm just saying, consider, right? Consider. Because that's what I'm here. Some of the things that I do for me to stay excited. Again, people who work with me, they see me, they know me. They'll tell you. Gloria is like the happiest person we've ever seen. Very positively, minded, forward looking, and all around, a good human-centered person. That does not happen just like that. It's something that I cultivate. And I'll share with you my own experience at some point, my own life experience that have led me to this place. But there are things that I do on a regular basis that help me stay sane and stay focused and be happy and be excited and look forward to work. And I'm going to share those with you, right? Number one, your weekend is your time off. Your weekend or your day off is yours. It's not a gift that you're getting from the company. No, you've earned it. It is yours. Use it. Stop trying to work on your day off. Turn off everything that has to do with work. It can wait. Nobody's dying. Trust me, nobody dying. Even if somebody is dying, there's always 911. There's always all these other people that can step up to the plate. There's a whole lot more, depending on the company. Think about this for a second. When you were not there, wasn't work being done? Weekend was happening, right? Yeah, so it's a weekend. If you're not there, trust me, somebody is going to do something. They'll step up. And for leaders out there, if you're so worried that if you're not there, nothing is going to get done, well, you have a problem. It's called you haven't been focusing on succession planning, because your direct reports have to know what you do. You have to share with them. Train them to be the next leader so that when you're not there, you don't have to worry. See, that's the other thing, is sometimes we're too selfish. Focusing on ourselves and maintaining a job and keeping a position, all that stuff. I'm going to hide all these things. No, share. If you're really comfortable, you share, turn people up. When you're not there, they will step up. So you sleep at ease. When you take your time off, you don't have to worry because you know you've got leaders after you, behind you, whom you have trained. Are you doing that? If you're not doing that, well, you have every reason to worry about, if I'm not there, nothing is going to get done. If you're not in supervision, you're not in any supervisory position, take your time off. Please go, get out. PTO, like I say, personal time off. It's not personal time on. That's what they call it, personal time off, time off. Like you click on the switch off kind of thing. Yeah, do that, off. Mentally, physically, emotionally, off work. Think about something else. Find something to do. Hang with the family, friends, or something. Forget work for a second. It's always gonna be there. Tell me the last time you went to work and there was no work. I mean, you've got to be the laziest person on planet Earth to go to work and there's no work. Every time you go to work, there's work. Even if you feel like today, you've done everything possible. The next day when you go back to work, there's going to be work. Trust me, work is always going to be there. It's never going to end. Until the day you die, can you think about the billions of people that came before us? They've all been working throughout history, right? Has work ever ended? In fact, it continues to increase. See, that's what I'm saying. How many thousands of years? Well, depending on what you believe in, right? Millions of years the earth has been in existence. I believe in thousands of years, right? Work has never stopped. Work is going to be there. So stop it. Personal time off. Take off. Clear everything. Say, hey, I'm gone. You try to reach me, there won't be no me. Here's who you need to contact. If there's anything, it has to wait until I return. Try that. See what happens. Turn off everything. Don't even give it like a minute. Like not even 2 minutes. Because temptations, that I'm telling you, some colleagues are just temptations, right? The devil is temptations. I'm just playing. But temptation for real. You'll be like going on vacation and there'll be something that just rings. Just go. Get out. For real. Like just go. Or like it's like almost your day off and you're like those last 5 minutes, something shows up and you look at it and you're like, this is going to take 30 minutes. That's already going to start eating into your vacation. Move it on to next. Be honest, like I'll come back to this when I get back. And if it needs immediate attention, I've got so and so who can take care of this. End of story. As I say, lunchtime to eat is your lunchtime to eat. Stop trying to reply to emails while you're typing. You're coordinating your fingers in your mouth. What do you think your brain is doing? Time to eat is time to eat. I say there's some research out there, you need to find them. See the research around eating. When you're eating and concentrating, you see there's some health things that we bring to ourselves because we're not concentrated on eating. Stop this multitasking thing nonsense. You hear that a lot. Like, oh yeah, I'm really good at multitasking. Really? Maybe you need to do a little research. Maybe you should think a little bit more about your work. Oh, think a little bit more about your mental well-being, your health. Stop this I'm good at multitasking thing. Your time, that's why they call it time to eat. Lunchtime. They didn't say lunch/work time. It's lunchtime. It is lunchtime for a reason. It's time to eat. Time to eat is time to eat. Time to walk is time to walk. Time to ride a bike is time to ride a bike. Time to jog is time to jog. That's what it is. There is time for everything. Stop mixing them up. You're messing up your own brain, your own thinking ability. You're messing up your own health system. Think for a second. I'm really encouraging you, time to eat, shut down everything. In fact, turn off the phone. Time to eat is time to eat, like this is my time to eat. I don't encourage you to build in time for a nap. For those of us who are blessed to get like an hour lunch, I know not everybody has that, so it is a privilege that I consider. But here's what I do sometimes. When I have a quick sandwich, a quick bite, I do 15 minutes, quick bite, and then 45 minutes, I just set my timer. And I'm laying down taking a nap. Sometimes nap don't come easily, right? That's okay too. But I try to be there, not to think about work. Like I could be looking at a ceiling. You know, here's the thing though. We're so around so much noise that like it becomes impossible for people to stay still for a second. I had a friend who came from New York and came to visit, and they just were like It is so quiet. Like, it's really quiet. They wanted to go downtown because it's so quiet. I'm just like, wow. But you see, that's what does that does all the noises and everything it does to us. We don't train our brains to be in a place of quiet. So try to be like, sometimes those 45 minutes could just be quiet time. Some people practice all kinds of stuff, right? But I tend to just be there, not think about anything. Just appreciate the moment of quietness. Try that and see what happens, right? Talked about PTO. You've earned it. Use it. You know? What's the other thing I do? I talk about, prioritizing yourself, right? Stop trying to consider yourself a savior. You are not a savior. You're not your work savior. You are not your boss's savior. You are not your company's savior. You are not. I don't care what they told you, like how much of a superstar you are and all kinds of stuff. You come first. Superstars go and they go and they fade and somebody else come. We talk about LeBron James. I like basketball. I'm wearing a soccer shirt. But I love basketball too, right? Well, before LeBron James, there was Kobe Bryant. Before that, there was Michael Jordan. Before that, you've got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird. You got a whole lot of people. Not one of them was like, they were special for their generation. But very soon, everybody forgotten. Everybody say, yeah, well, LeBron James is the greatest of all time. I'm just like, yeah, well, you haven't actually seen those who played before him. See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Stop trying to be a savior for your company, because as soon as you're not there, somebody else is coming in to step in that place. And you need to think about that. Your health is more important. Who are you saving the vacation time for? It's vacation. Vacation. Vacate. Get out. Not staycation. Staycation at your house. Who you saving vacation time for? You've got hours and hours in store there. Like so many hours. In fact, HR is reaching out to you like, hey, if you don't take vacation, you're gonna lose this. You're gonna lose your time. You don't know where to go? Take time and stay home. Hang out somewhere, like somewhere away from work. Your body needs it. Your mind needs it. Why are you saving vacation? It's not a saving account. They give it to you to spend. This is one of those things that you earn. They didn't give it to you. You earn it to spend it. You know what's even sad? I've been in places where people have actually lost their vacation. Like, you lose your hours that you have earned to take care of yourself. Time off. You lose the hours at the end of the year. Unbelievable. Like, if you're one of those people who've actually lost time off, you need to look in the mirror. Something is seriously wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. Don't tell me no. I'm not even gonna go back to like nobody's gonna do, because I've heard all that. All those are excuses. Take your time. You've earned the time. Use it. There's no reason you should be losing your earned time off. Again, there's a reason they call it personal time off. Vacation. Vacate. Get out. Don't staycation. Don't say vacation. I don't know if that word even exists. I'm just saying. Anyways, thought I'd share because I see a lot of that. And sometimes people get sick, wouldn't even know why you're getting sick. Things are just not clicking. Somewhere something is hurting. You go to the hospital, the doctor said there's nothing wrong with you. Because you haven't been prioritizing you. Nothing is wrong with you. Your mental health is just like mentally you're tired. And your body is saying, hey, I'm about to shut you down. Vacation or 6 feet under. I don't know which one you prefer, but I want to still be alive. Be there, contribute, help society get better. Be a contributing member of society. Give as much as I can. That requires self-care. You can't care about everybody else around and forget the only person who's the most important third person in the equation. This is a place where I say be selfish, because it is important that you be selfish. It is required. In fact, it is mandated that you be selfish when it comes to take care of yourself. Because if you're not there, you can't take care of nobody else. You can't take care of others. So you got to be there to take care of others. You have to be there to be a superstar. A dead superstar is not a superstar. They don't exist. You can be a super star if you're dead. You can be a super star if you're constantly getting sick. And you will notice another thing, right? If you're constantly getting sick, companies usually start to kind of prep somebody else, right? Like I said, they don't feel sorry for you. It doesn't exist. You start to become a problem, a burden. in some places, they start to use that as a word, right? If you got injured at work, I've seen places you get injured at work. You lose your finger at work in those, processing, manufacturing places. I know a story. You go and you take care of yourself. The day you return, the conversation is like, sorry, you can hold, you got hurt at work. But as soon as you lose just one piece. You are no longer as important. And this was a person's like a superstar. Let's be honest. Companies, they do care about us as long as we're producing. Same with organizations, governmental, non-governmental, doesn't matter. As long as you are healthy and producing, they will love to work you to death. We all do it. That's the truth of the matter. In fact, the more you give, the better it is. Until you click kill, you can no longer go. Then you become just another piece of somebody that should be on their way out. You can no longer produce. All the things that you put in, all the hours, all the work, all the weekends that you kind of took, all the late night emails, all of that is forgotten. Because that's just the real world. And I'm saying to you, realize that and start to take care of yourself. Be intentional about you. Prioritize you. Center you. Be selfish for a minute. Center you. Stop this nonsense 40 to 60 hours expected. It is there. It's a word that is being used. But for me, it's like, no, I try to get done things within 40 hours. Do I go over sometimes? Yes, be honest, I do. But I try my best to make sure that within a certain window, I am working. And when it is done, it is time for me to go because I know my body needs it, my mental health needs it, everything needs it. So, thank you for indulging me. I want to encourage you, if you have tips, other things that you're doing, to share them, put them in a comment, share the video, invite other people. Again, this is a sharing place. We're sharing tips and sharing ways in which to get better, to be better, right? To be productive, to be happy. My happiness is intentional because I chose it to be. And I'm intentional in everything I do, and that includes work. When I go to work, when I get off work, what I do during lunch, and what I do on my day off, and so on and so forth. All of those things contribute to me being happy. Being happy in my work, looking forward to seeing my colleagues. And so, I'm encouraging you. Do not forget to subscribe. I thank you for being here, for indulging me, for participating, for sharing, for liking, for commenting, for helping to spread the wealth, because it takes all of us. All right. Well, thank you again for taking the time, for being with you. Until next time, asante. Ciao.